Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Unveiled Truths. Today we're going to be going over Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 through 20. And I'm actually kind of excited about this because someone tried to use this against me the other day, and it just didn't work because whenever you have the truth, then nothing shall prevail. The Bible clearly states that if God is for you, then who can stand against you? And the answer is no one. He's all powerful, almighty. It's just awesome. So I'm just going to quickly read through real quick, and then I'm just going to kind of give my thoughts, my opinions, and actually a little bit of facts too. So I can see I got a little haircut, kind of got the uni a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Had to freshen up. All right, here it is. Starting on verse 13. I don't know if I said that or not. Matthew chapter 5, starting on verse 13. It says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing, but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand. Lampstead. Stand, my bad. And it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." So what is the Messiah telling us here? He says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Did we not see Messiah's good works? We saw plenty of good works. He healed leopard. He casted out demons, what we know as demons. Some people say sicknesses, because some people believe in demons, others don't. I mean, we may go over that sometime. So he clearly says, let us see, or let the world see your good works. It says, "Do not think that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to fulfill." So if he came to fulfill it, and he clearly says that he did not come to destroy it, you know what I mean? People, they'll be like, oh, well, Jesus came to fulfill it. Now we don't have to keep it anymore. But if you look at the definition for it in the Strong's Greek, it's 4137. It says, "From Polaris, to make, replete, to cram, to level up, or to furnish." Now, if you're furnishing something, are you taking away? Obviously not. It says to execute, finish, or verify. If you're verifying something, are you taking away? Obviously not. Of course, he had to execute some things, as in what was prophesied about. Like, for instance, the doing away of the temple. I believe that's in Daniel's chapter 7. If you want to check that out, it clearly states that. It says, "For assuredly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle will by no means pass from the law till all is fulfilled." So even if we was to say that the law was going to be done away with, which I'm not saying it is, because I don't believe it is, because God says he never changes. So if he hates something, obviously he hates it. He's not going to change. Okay, but let's say that it was going to be done away with. It says, "For surely I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away." Has either of those happened? No. How do we know? Because we're still here. It says, "Will no means pass from the law till all is fulfilled." I know I may get the questions, oh, well, if the law isn't changed or nullified, then why don't we have temples or priests anymore? Well, if we did have temples and priests, then the law would still be the same. It's already dictated a law for us to keep if we did have those things. But it was prophesied about because the temple became corrupt. And I'll get to that in just a second. It says, "Whoever therefore breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches men so shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does and teaches them, he shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." And here it is. This is going to explain how the temple is corrupt right here. It says, "For I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter into the kingdom of heaven." And that might hurt a lot of people's feelings. I'm just going to read it again for emphasis. It says, "For I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." So, how does that explain that the temple was corrupt? Well, we can see throughout the New Testament that obviously the scribes and the Pharisees were very corrupt. And we can see that in John chapter 8, it says that they came to him tempting him or testing him so that they might have something against him. And I think that we also see it, I think it's Acts 11, or I could be mistaken, I'm sorry. Whenever it's talking about the cup or the drinking of the cup. Or no, wait, the washing of the hands, my bad. It says, why do your disciples eat without washing your hands, profaning the traditions of the elders?" And then Jesus quickly replies, he's like, "Well, why do you pretty much disrespect God or not honor him and keep the traditions of your elders instead of the commandments of God?" It says that it's not what goes into a man's mouth that defiles him, but what proceeds out or forth from him. So the question is why was they washing their hands, or why did they have a tradition of washing their hands before they eat and stuff? And the only thing that I can really think of is because obviously germaphobes or something like that. So they made it a tradition and then they tried to make it like a commandment of God. Like, oh, if you don't wash your hands before you eat, oh, you're sinning. But he got on to them, and, the more that he got on to them, the more that they hated him. Because it says that a wise man will love you for your correction, but a fool will despise you. So I just kind of wanted to quickly go over this because it was used against me the other day, that this is nowhere within verse through 13 through 20 ever teaches us that he got rid of the law, because he didn't. It's clear to me throughout the scriptures that he kept the law. And we can actually go back to what people call the Beatitudes. And it says in chapter 5, starting on verse 6, it says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Well, if sin, 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, is breaking the law, then we can clearly come to a clear conclusion that righteousness is keeping of the law, because it's not the hearers of the word that are justified before God, but it is the doers of the word. It requires works. James chapter 2 clearly says that faith without works is dead. Like I said up here, back in verse 14, it says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works." Good works, Torah. First 5 books of the Bible, written by Moses. And I think that I've went over that in Malachi chapter 4. It says to remember my servant Moses and his law, just before the New Testament. So clearly we can see that faith and works, the works of the Torah, are a combination and that they make it whole. It's like putting 2 pieces of bread together. You get a sandwich. Or sandwich. I get made fun of because I say sandwich, but it's sandwich. So it both goes together. It's Very clear throughout Scripture. All right, guys, I love y'all. Shalom, and I hope that this is unveiling the truth for y'all.